and turn it over to our presenters. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. We'll start by our team introducing. I'm Farah Khattab, director of the WESO program, and then I will give you a brief about myself, and then move to Hani and Noha to introduce themselves as well. I have 15 years of experience in both academic and research. I hold a doctorate degree. I'm dedicated to continuous learning.
Et j'ai un doctorat et je suis dévouée à continuer à
accounting courses for 12 years at universities. And I have worked as researcher at Algonquin College. And currently I'm holding the position of director of WESO program at the YMCA of the National Capital Region. And the WESO program involves conducting research with both newcomers and settlement staff, and aims to enhance the quality of hybrid services, promoting digital inclusion for newcomers, and improving the overall settlement experience for newcomers. I will hand it to Noha to also introduce herself.
Thank you, Farah. So I'm Noha Zahir, the researcher, and I do the data analysis activities and research. And my career is entirely academic. In universities, I've been teaching, I've been researching, I've used SPSS, data, Excel for data analysis. And now I used to be an accounting and instructor and researcher, but now I'm a researcher in the field of settlement, and I'm exploring it. I'm happy about it. So I'll leave it to Hani now.
Thank you, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm Hani. I'm the outreach worker of WESO program. Before this, I have a bachelor's in dental surgery, and I have a postgraduate diploma in healthcare administration. And now I am exploring the field of settlement with the WESO program. Thank you.
Thank you, team. So today we will go over orientation about our research activities and the model and the toolkit we have developed, as well as our supplementary resources. So I hope you really find this useful. Next slide. So to start with our program deliverables, one, to provide a deeper understanding of what type of services from the 6 settlement services works better online, and in what format, and for what type of clients. So some clients prefer, for example, the language training to be in person. Other prefer to be online, and so on. So we have explored each services goes better in which format and for what type of clients. And then we worked with a group of newcomers who used to use just in-person training, and we're only comfortable using in-person services, and they were only comfortable using in-person services, and we trained them on digital skills, and we helped them transition to use online services. And after we followed up with them after 3 months, and they have improved a lot with accessing online services, and they were satisfied with the skills they have learned and the digital skills they have developed. Number 3 is we worked on creating resources and toolkits that help us provide the organization all across Canada to evaluate their service delivery and adapt their models accordingly to improve services. So we developed a model, we developed a toolkit to help SPOs get the right feedback from clients, and then they can figure out where they are doing right and where they are doing wrong, and what they need to do to improve. And then we have a trained 450 staff on our model and on our toolkits. So far, we have trained 444, so 444, and like we have done training and info session. But by the end of tomorrow, we will have at least 460, which is like means we met our target. But we are planning, thank you, but we are planning to like continue at least every Wednesday to give one training every Wednesday till the end of November. Next. So what we have been doing, we have done research and reviewed, we reviewed 250 reports and studies. We have done focus groups with both newcomers and staff that work with the newcomers. We have conducted surveys with 240 clients and 260 staff. We collected data. And then based on all of this, we have developed our initial model, and then we continued and we did a small experiment with 40 clients where we trained them on digital skills, and we followed up with them for 3 months to see their progress. And then this enabled us to create a first version of our toolkit, which we piloted it to 30 staff. And then we started rolling out the toolkit. While we're doing this, we started with knowledge mobilization, which means like we start sharing knowledge with our partners, and we started to share our tools and toolkits and all the resources we found them to be useful and we have developed. And with knowledge mobilization, can we go to the next step, honey? Next slide. So with knowledge mobilization, we created infographics that we shared on satellite.org group. We had some of our consultants also published the blogs about us. We networked with partners and organized workshops. We had several workshops that were very successful with CCI, with Jasur, with WeValue. And we had some other workshops, and all of them had like high participation. And we have also worked on a new webpage that hopefully will be published next week. So we are in the final stage of reviewing it. So this webpage will have all the WESO resources, toolkits, appendices, our infographics, and all of that. And we are now working on translating our toolkit and some of our resources to French as well. Now, what we will be doing next is we also have a busy calendar. We were invited to present at the Eastern Ontario Immigration and Retention Strategy Virtual Summit that's taking place on October 4th and 5th, and that's organized by the local immigration partnership. We are also presenting on October 26th at OCASI. We have a discussion panel, and we will be also presenting at the 6th Metropolis Conference in Calgary on November 1st. And then we will be presenting at Jasur Conference, November 30, which will take place in Toronto. And then we will be presenting in the P2P conference in Montreal, and we also have a discussion panel there. So we have workshop and a discussion panel. And then hopefully in January and February, date to be determined, we will be also presenting in a webinar in collaboration with the Toronto Metropolitan University and another with Toronto LIP. Next is our infant training session. So as I said, we are now at 444 staff trained. Our target is 450, but we still have another training session today in the evening, and we have one tomorrow. So we're expecting to achieve the target. We have trained so far 18 from Alberta, 35 from British Columbia, 26 from Manitoba, 2 staff from New Brunswick, 29 staff from Nova Scotia, 317 from Ontario, 6 from Quebec, and 11 from Saskatchewan. And Ontario, we have variety of cities that we trained, and then also same with British Columbia, Manitoba, Alberta, Quebec, and Saskatchewan. We have even reached out to some rural areas. So it's great to see like diversity of trained staff from all over. And based on all our research activities, that's the model we created for delivering a high quality hybrid service settlement services. And basically we found that to have the acceptance of online services by newcomers are based on the ease of use and usefulness, and they are affected by certain service specific dimensions and by newcomer specific dimensions. And for the service specific dimensions, we found that they are affected by 3 main drivers, which are staff performance. And staff performance, this includes empathy, reliability, and assurance of staff. And then by website content and accessibility, and this affects also like the acceptance of online services. And this is basically like information about how to access programs and how easy it is to navigate through the website. This also affects the acceptance of online services by clients, by newcomers. And then web security is another driver affecting the acceptance of online services. And basically it's driven by protecting the privacy of clients and explaining how information is used. The more we are transparent with the clients, why we are collecting certain information, certain private information, or asking clients to share their USI number or any other information, we need to explain why this information needed and how this information will be protected, etc. And then the newcomer specific dimensions, which is the we found that barriers that clients face is accepting their online, the acceptance is affecting their acceptance for online services. Basically, their digital literacy, are they comfortable using computer or not? Cost and the speed of internet, can they afford having internet at home? Do they have their own device? Do they share a device where like only one laptop is at home and it's shared by children and it's shared by both parents? So this is all affecting also their accessibility to online services. And last was the language proficiency, which is also like we found a lot of clients have cannot comprehend. That's why they prefer like in-person services, because online or over the phone they weren't able to understand, and they prefer to go in person because that will require more like they can ask more questions and stuff like that with the staff. And last would be the in-person preference. We found that regardless of the quality of services or regardless of the type of services, some clients have in-person preference, and they prefer to just go in person, socialize with the staff and get their services done in person rather than online, even if they were satisfied online, and even if they have the ability to go in person, they would or the option to go in person, they would prefer to go in person. And those were basically the dimensions or the key drivers for the acceptance of online services that we found based on our research and based on the survey and focus groups that we have done with clients and with staff that works with clients. Next. I will leave it now to Noha to continue our presentation.
Thank you, Farah. So part of our research, we had the client experiment, as Farah said earlier, which was a digital literacy training for 40 in-person clients. And we also, part of our surveys, we asked staff and clients about the importance of digital literacy to them and whether they view the clients need digital literacy. So from the staff perspective, we found that 87.7% either agree or strongly agree that clients should be provided training sessions to use digital tools such as Zoom to access services such as digital literacy courses and training. And we also asked clients the same question, and 70.8% agree on or strongly agree with this statement. So we would also like to take your views, and we will have throughout the session several questions to collect the audience opinions about these matters that are related to hybrid services and related to our work. So our first question, but please join Slido. You can either take it by joining at slido.com and enter the code 2789693, or you can scan the QR code with your cell phone and you will go directly to the poll. And also using the Slido, we'll be able to get the feedback about this presentation. So that's why it's important to join Slido. So yeah, thank you. Yes. So our first question is, how would you rate the significance of digital literacy training in enhancing clients' employability? So now we have 9 joining. It's really easy to join Slido. So you can either use your laptop and just type slido.com and write the code 2789693, or you can scan the code, scan the QR code over here. Okay, so this is and you'll be able also to see what people thought for this question. So 80% think it's very important, while 20% think it's moderately important. There's another question about digital literacy. So even if you haven't joined the poll, you can still join from the next question. That's fine. Okay, extremely important. I see that some people are joining right now. So 13% are saying it's 20% are saying moderately important. It's fluctuating. Yeah, but no one sees that it's not important. So it's either extremely important or moderately important or very important. And then now we have 10 people joining. And I'll go to the next question. Hopefully the next question, everyone is joining. So now, in your view, why is it important to train more clients so they can increase their digital literacy skills? So why do you think it's important? It's an open-ended question just to take your opinions about digital literacy and why it's important to train clients, or not important. You can say either it's important or not important from your experience. Yep. Accessibility to other services is now an essential skill. And is it that with digital literacy problem, is it the problem sometimes with the design of the service, or is it really hard to use, or maybe the clients need training because the service is easy, but they just need training on how to use the digital tools? Because sometimes the problem is with the service, the PDFs are hard to fill, the process is not intuitive. So I think the work has to be done on both sides, like from the client side and from the service side, to make it as easy and intuitive as possible. Okay, so we'll move to, I'll just wait for the 4 people typing and I'll move to that. So we have answers, being connected and accessing services, access to a variety of services, overall integration. Digital skills are essential in many levels. They'll have access to more resources, definitely. They'll have access to more resources, explorative services. Help them integrate. Yes, definitely. Thank you. So yeah, thank you all for providing an answer. So we have themes about service and access. Most of the themes are about service and access. So now these are the four handbooks we created at WESO, and we begin with our main handbook, which is the Quality Assessment Toolkit for Hybrid Settlement Services in Canada. This toolkit has three main tools. Tool number one, the Hybrid Service Quality Client Questionnaire. Tool two, the ready-to-use Excel template for data analysis. And tool number three, the Continuous Improvement Plan. This quality assessment toolkit was designed in a way that it has a continuous improvement cycle, or an intuitive way following three main steps. For the first tool is for data collection. So the client questionnaire, you can collect client feedback relevant to hybrid service quality. So based on our WESO model, we created this client questionnaire so that it tackles all relevant dimensions for hybrid service quality, the 5 dimensions that Farah discussed with you. And then the second step is to analyze data. So you have a lot of data that you collected from your clients, and you want to analyze this data and make sense of the data and make decisions based on the data. And we have a ready-to-use Excel template just for this purpose. All you need to do is copy and paste the data as is from the client questionnaires, and the data analysis will be generated automatically. And we'll show you in a bit how this works. And the third step is data-driven decision-making. And it's tool 3 does that for you. So based on the analyzed data, you see what are the points or the main flags that were flagged by the Excel, and you make actions, assign persons to do the actions and review the outcomes later. So if you join Slido also, you'll be able, if you have already joined Slido, you'll have like 3 dots in the upper left part that you can download all the files. You can download tool 1, tool 2, and tool 3, and also the action plan. So it will be helpful if you also join for this reason. And all of our tools will be shortly available in the website. So tool number 1, our hybrid service quality client questionnaire. What's different about this client questionnaire is that it's based on science, because it's based on our WESO model that's based on the responses of the clients. And it tackles the 5 different service quality dimensions. And also that it uses an importance performance analysis scale. And this importance performance analysis scale is a model used in marketing studies for resource allocation and priority setting. So what does an importance performance scale looks like in the questionnaire? If you have downloaded the questionnaire, you will notice that the service-specific dimensions are evaluated by the client by 2 scales. Agreement scale, which is also the performance, because we'll use agreement and performance interchangeably, and importance scale. Because if the client agrees, this means that they had a positive experience. And if they disagree, it means that they had a negative experience. And whether the service aspect was important to them. So this is how it will look like for the client, and what's going to be evaluated. I'll take the first statement as an example. So settlement service staff are polite and patient when delivering services to me. If they strongly agree, this means that the client had a positive experience. If they strongly disagree, it means they had a negative experience. If it's extremely important to them, then this aspect of service quality, if treated with dignity, is very important to them. If they say it's slightly important or not important, that this aspect is not important to them. So this will give you a view of not only how well you're doing, because that's of course important, but whether this aspect is also important, and you should invest your time in, and you should focus on. And this is the outcome of the importance performance analysis. And this will be generated automatically for you using our Excel template. So you need only to understand the interpretation of this outcome or of the importance performance analysis. This chart gives you the 4 combinations of performance and importance, of high and low performance and high and low importance. So you'll have the 4 quadrants. The IEPA matrix classifies statements into 4 quadrants that are the 4 possibilities of the client answers. And this outcome will not be generated just for one client or client by client, but will be an aggregate from all the clients. So it will be based on all the responses of all your clients, which is fair because you won't take one client response and base your strategy based on it, but based on everyone who responded to your questionnaire. So the first outcome is that clients have rated some aspects as low performance and high importance. So this is the first combination, low performance and high importance. This means that the organization did not perform so good or didn't do great on these aspects, but it's really important to the client. So the recommendation is that since it's important and the organization has a room for improvement, then it's a needs for improvement quadrant, and you need to focus here. And the second quadrant is the second possibility of high performance and high importance. So the client has rated some aspects or some areas of your service as that you performed really well, high performance, and that it's really important to them. So the recommendation is keep up the good work because these are the things you're doing right. So don't change a thing, but maintain the service quality in these areas. In quadrant C, the third possibility, low performance and low importance. So the client has rated some aspects of service quality as low performance. The organization did not meet their expectation in this area of service quality, but it's not important to them. So you don't need to focus on, because maybe your Facebook group is not so informative and does not get updated regularly. However, the clients don't use the Facebook for information. Maybe they use the website, they use the IRCC website to know about your services, but they don't use that. So you don't need to focus on that. And that's, of course, like a hypothetical example. And quadrant D, the possible overkill. These are the aspects of service quality that were evaluated by clients as high performance, so the organization is doing really good, but it's not important to them. So you're focusing on things that are not important to your clients. So you need to cut the waste. For example, you're focusing too much on the aesthetics of the office, but the client doesn't care about the aesthetics. They care more about the real service and the impact and the outcome. Or you care so much about the website and it's really informative, but they know about you from referrals or other sources of information. And all of these service quality will be unique for every provider. So what's important for you may be important for not important for other providers. So the outcome, the last outcome would be that for quadrant A, you need to shift resources here. And for the quadrant D, the possible overkill, you need to cut the waste and stop focusing here. And these are the 2 quadrants that need intervention from your side. This is a snapshot for tool number 1. So you can download it from Slido, review the questionnaire, customize as needed because you know about your program more than we do, but we'll be happy to make one-on-one consultations with you to customize the questionnaire as needed and see how we can adapt it to your program. And then start collecting client feedback using SurveyMonkey, Google Forms, or Microsoft Forms. And we can assist you in that too. So now we have a quiz that you can join us at slido.com. This quiz, just the intention of this quiz is just to to make sure that you recall the main concept of the importance performance analysis after the presentation. But It's so no pressure. Don't worry about it. Okay. Thank you. So we'll wait for more people to come. Just two. So the hybrid service quality client questionnaire uses how many scales? And this is a tricky question because usually the top answer is the wrong one. So, okay. So the correct answer is 2. The hybrid service quality client questionnaire has 2 scales, which is the importance and performance scale. So many people say 4 because they have 4 quadrants, and they're correct about that. Those are the 4 possibilities of the combination of importance and performance. And some people say 5 and 6 because they see that it's a Likert scale. So they say that, okay, it's a 5 scale or a 5 Likert scale. So that's why some people use 5 or 6. And for us, we have also another option of not sure and don't know, so it's 6. But the main 2 scales, or the 2 scales that are on the questionnaire, are importance and performance. You evaluate your performance or your service quality based on these 2 aspects of importance and performance. So what makes the hybrid service quality client questionnaire different from other questionnaires is that it uses what scales? Yes, importance and performance, that's correct. So now that we have discussed tool number 1, it's time to view the features of our ready-to-use Excel template. This ready-to-use Excel template provides a full importance performance analysis report and chart, the one that we talked about, and categorize summary statistics for service-specific and newcomer-specific dimensions, similar to the model. So, let me share sound. Okay, so this is a small video about the features of this Excel. It's a 6-minute video. Hopefully it works. So for some reason, it doesn't want to work. So allow me first to do that. Okay. Really, it works no problem, but sometimes this is with technology. Sometimes things happen, but hopefully it works now.
Sometimes it can be a little bit slower now because of the
Yeah.
internet connection. Sometimes
be.
the speed is high and low.
Yeah, that could be, yeah. Okay, I'll try just one last time. Oh yeah, I'll just leave it be. It's buffering, so hopefully it does the job.
Maybe share, if it didn't work, share it from your computer directly rather than from the PowerPoint. So if you don't have to-
Yeah, I removed actually the extra
Let me see if I
screen.
have it.
Yeah, I removed the extra screen to see if that will work. That's what I did. It's still buffering. I don't know if it's a problem with the connection or a problem with YouTube because it's on YouTube.
This is tool number 2.
Working now. So
Once
hopefully
clients
it
have
stays like
completed the
that.
client questionnaire, data can be inputted into the Excel data analysis template. Most survey building tools such as SurveyMonkey, Google Forms, or Microsoft Forms has the option to extract all the data generated from the survey into Excel format. In this tutorial, we'll provide a brief explanation of the features of this Excel template. We have dedicated a whole video to explain the template in detail, and it is self-paced, so you can do it in your own time and watch it as many times as you need to. This is the home page of the Excel template. You can navigate through the different tabs similar to a website. You can move between all the pages from any page on this Excel. The first page includes guidance on how to use this template and explains each tab. The second tab is the Copy and Paste Here tab. This is where you paste all the responses from your client questionnaires. All you need to do is to extract the data from the survey building tool, such as Microsoft Forms or Google Forms, and then paste it here. Once you have pasted the responses, all the data analysis will be generated for you. This will give you a full importance performance analysis chart with the 4 quadrants. And here you'll find all the details, every statement, and whether it lies in the keep up the good work quadrant, the low priority, the possible overkill, or the needs improvement. This is the IPA analysis pivot table. It summarizes the results of the importance performance analysis into the main 4 quadrants. So these are the aspects of service quality that your organization is getting right, because they are the aspects that are important to your clients and the organization is performing well at. These are the aspects that are low priority because your organization is performing poorly on, but they're not important to your clients, so you don't need to focus on them. And these are the needs improvement aspects. These are the top priority. These are the aspects that are very important to your clients and your organization is performing poorly at. So these needs intervention from your side. And the possible overkill are the aspects of service quality that your organization is performing highly on, but they're not very important to the clients. So the recommendation is to stop focusing here. Moving on to the Service Quality Dimensions dashboard. This dashboard provides useful charts that summarizes all responses generated from the questionnaire. So the first dashboard is the staff performance dashboard. It summarizes all the statements related to staff performance, and you can know from this chart the percentage of clients that responded strongly agree to this question, agree, just neither agree or disagree, and disagree. Also, this chart is linked to the results of the importance performance analysis. So if you click on this slicer, you'll be able to know the statements in staff performance that you're doing right. And these are the statements that are low priority. And this is the statement that highlights that there needs an improvement in staff performance in this aspect. And this is the possible overkill, the low priority that you don't need to focus on. Moving on to the newcomer-specific dimensions. The newcomer-specific dimensions gives you statistics about your client's digital ability, client barriers, and acceptance of online services. It can inform future planning for online services and whether your clients have the digital ability and have everything they need to access online services. This dashboard will help your organization determine whether you'll need extra funding to remove client barriers, such as lending devices or providing digital literacy courses to clients. Moving on to the client satisfaction dashboard. The client satisfaction dashboard provides you percentages for the statements that are related to client satisfaction. So you will know the percentage of clients that were satisfied from the overall service and the percentage of your clients that were dissatisfied. Moving on to the service format tab. This is the last question in our HiSQL client questionnaire. The question asks whether clients prefer what kind of service from the 6 settlement service categories provided by IRCC, in which format, online, in-person, or hybrid. So if we take this example, for employment services, 38% said they liked the online services more, or they prefer to have employment services in the online format, while 29% checked for the in-person, and 31.9% said they prefer both. This information will help you plan which services are best suited in person, online, or both.
Oh, yeah. So this was our Excel template. And then after you have analyzed the data, you have the IPA, you have the summary charts, and now it's time for the continuous improvement plan. The continuous improvement plan doesn't offer you new information, but based on the data analysis, it helps you in organizing the data analysis in order to make the decisions and promote data-driven decision-making. So you use this to make a log of the areas that need intervention. Remember the 2 quadrants that need intervention from your side, the needs improvement and the possible overkill from the IPA report. So keep log of these, you assign responsibility and timelines, and review the outcome later. And we have a small video that hopefully works well without a problem. It seems more cooperative. It's a 2.5-minute video.
We've discussed tool number 2
about the continuous improvement
plan. It's time for continuous improvement plan. Tool number 3. So using the results in tool number 2 here from the IPA analysis, you can find all 16 statements that are evaluated based on the 2 scales, the performance and importance, and the results of the importance performance analysis. Use the results from the importance performance analysis from tool 2 to fill in the continuous improvement plan. So let's now see the continuous improvement plan. This is tool number 3. And as you see here, these are the tabs. You have 3 service-specific tabs for staff performance, web security, and website content and accessibility. Let's take staff performance as an example. So here, first you do self-rating, with exceeding, complying, partially compliant, and compliant. And here you write examples of actions and evidence to support your self-rating. Then you go back to tool number 2. So this is the result of the IPA analysis from tool 2, the Excel template. All you need to do is read here the statement, settlement service staff are polite and patient. This is the same statement, the first statement. It's keep up the good work. So you choose it here in the quadrant, keep up the good work. And here, statement 2 is keep up the good work. So you choose here, keep up the good work. And so on. Here is a filled example for the staff performance dashboard. So you start by self-rating, examples of actions and evidence to support self-rating. You insert the IPA rating from
On ajoute ici le classement IPA. Si vous êtes dans le cadran, d'obtenir le bon.
Needs to be done from your side. However, if it's in the possible overkill, this means that you're focusing on matters that are not important to clients. So you need to assign actions to allocate the time and resources elsewhere. And there should be a person responsible, planned completion date, and reviewing outcomes later. Also, if it's in the needs improvement quadrant, like here, then these are the statements that need improvement because they have low performance and high importance. And therefore you should assign action, assign person responsible for the action, set a deadline, and review the outcomes later.
So now I'll hand it over to Hani to continue with you with the action plan.
Thank you, Noha. So now that you have took the WESO Toolkit training, what is the next step? So we have created a 12-week plan for organizations to start implementing the tools that we will be providing. So we will also provide a 3-month follow-up with all the participants, so everybody who has taken the training, to help them through any challenges that they might face while they modify all the 3 tools. So our first step after receiving the WESO Toolkit training will be modification of the hybrid service quality client questionnaire. So action plan helps because then it helps you assign roles for the next steps for the evaluation process. For example, you can assign roles for who will be responsible to set up meetings with the WESO team to modify the questionnaire, and then who will be the first the staff who will be the frontline staff that will be then giving these surveys to the clients when they provide the service, who will be collecting data, so on and so forth. So the 3 main steps will include modification of the highest quality client questionnaire, modification of ready-to-use Excel template. Then you will roll out the client questionnaire to the clients so they can collect the data, and then tracking progress through the continuous improvement plan. And we now have a question that we would like to know your point of view about. So please rate the potential impact of staff research skills on your organization's overall performance. So these are some questions that we would like to get your feedback on. You can answer the questions that you find are relevant to you and that you feel comfortable answering. All right, we see there are 9 people active.
Also, Slido would be important to get the feedback at the end, because I think Anthony wanted us to share with him the feedback from this session. So it would be really important for you to join the Slido for the coming questions too. I'll move on to the next one. Okay.
Alrighty. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the potential impact of staff research skills on evidence-based decision-making? Where 1 is very low and 10 is exceptionally high. So you see the average is about 8.2. Alrighty, we can move to the next question.
Okay.
And why do you think training staff to improve their data and research skills is important? So now this can vary depending on their role in the organization. So it's an open-ended question, so please feel free to answer however you'd like.
So says true, the evidence is important for funding.
It absolutely helps to make informed decisions. That's one of the biggest impacts. Absolutely. To better perform their client services, of course, you have to be updated with all the data. So you need to know what is going on in the sector to provide better information and referral, I would say, with our clients so that we are spending our time and resources on topics which are relevant to our clients. Absolutely. Understanding the current state and discover potential opportunities. It helps with taking the right decisions and approaches methods, also while requesting funding. Absolutely. Alrighty, so we can move to the next question now. All right, so these are our supplementary handbooks. So the first supplementary handbooks, Appendix 1, contains client readiness tool and the organizational readiness tool and some promising practices to deliver high quality hybrid services. So if you see before your client is ready to access any online services or any hybrid services, this can be an important checklist to see if they require anything. And organizational basis as well, if the staff requires some things and the program requires some things to provide high quality hybrid services. So then the Appendix 2 comes in action, which is our, so the second slide. Thank you. So the Hybrid Work Resource Guide is a very helpful tool which is full of all the useful resources with links for online digital literacy resources. So if you see that your client in the Appendix 1 is not ready for the online services, they can use these resources provided in the Appendix 2 for devices and connectivity program, for digital literacy, online directory for resources within the community. And then for the staff, you can use the resources for survey data collection, tips and resources for effective hybrid work, and tools for hybrid work that can be very useful to the staff for enable to provide good quality hybrid services. And last but not least is my favorite, the Appendix 3, is our digital skills training, just digital skills training client handbook. So this contains all the basics that your client would require in order for them to access online services. We found out in our digital literacy experiment that a lot of newcomers did not know how to Google things properly or find information online. So this contains internet basics that will help them to have a more modified search, and then it helps them to find the actual information that they're looking for. It also helps them to know what is a secure page and what not, where they can put their information. The next is email basics. We also found out that a lot of newcomers, they did not know their own email addresses, and they also did not know how to change their passwords, CC, BCC, or send attachments for sending their caseworker some files. So this again contains all the email basics for them to communicate effectively with their caseworker or with IRCC. And the last but not the least is video conferencing. So again, in order for them to be able to successfully access any online services, they need to require Zoom or other video conferencing methods. So this provides a very illustrative examples and details on how they can access those video conferencing methods. We also kept in mind that for the newcomers that are coming to Canada, their English might not be so strong. So we tried to use the language, which is very simple and easy to understand for newcomers. And we have a lot of images so that even if they do not know English, they can actually follow the images and they can actually find out how to do things properly. So this was our core module of the quality assessment framework and our tools. Our optional modules include questionnaire design for data collection, our data collection tools, and the questionnaire data analysis with Excel. So in case if your organization, somebody is like interested in learning more about data collection, these are self-paced modules. And if you're interested, you can just let us know. I will put our emails in the chat. So please feel free to email us. Let us know if you would like to access these tools, these modules. We can just send them to you. You can view them in your own time and you can repeat them as many times as you want. And they're very helpful for data collection and data analysis. So our training, as you know, we had a 450 target for our staff trainings. And our trainings will continue until the end of September, until 29th. And we are planning to have other training sessions as well, which we will be communicating about. If you are interested, you can just let us know and we will be more than happy to accommodate any training sessions that are flexible to your team. Now, a small questionnaire, again, just to make sure that we have all the information. How much do you agree with the statement that a toolkit for newcomer health services, similar to the WESO toolkit, would significantly enhance service quality and client outcomes? Now, we understand that you're not from the healthcare sector, but we have been contacted by a lot of healthcare services that WESO Toolkit will be very helpful for them. And since you guys are the first-hand contact with the clients, we would like to see your point of view, that if you think this would be something very helpful for healthcare sector. I'm seeing some requests in the chat to receive the tools. I will make sure that I will have all the emails ready, and I will be sending after this meeting. I will send all the tools and information required. Alrighty, so we see mostly everybody's agree or soundingly agree that this will be a very important toolkit for a healthcare sector. And now we would love to hear your thoughts on this training so that we can improve the training content and any other suggestions that you might have that, we can improve the training content with. So how would you rate the overall quality of the training materials and the content? We will wait about 15-20 seconds for each question so everybody gets the chance to send their inputs. Noha, you're on mute.
And the feedback is going to be shared with your organization. So if you would like to participate so that you provide more input to your organization, that would be great.
Alrighty, let's move to the next question. Which of the following statements do you agree with? And now you can select all that apply to you. The training content was relevant to your needs, the training was relevant to your work, and the training materials were well organized and easy to follow. The training increased my understanding of the performance evaluation toolkit. The training adequately prepared me to use the toolkit in my work. The training was engaging and interactive, and I would recommend the training to other settlement staff. Yes, thank you. So what specific aspects of the WESO Toolkit training did you find most valuable? And again, you can select all that apply. The client questionnaire, ready-to-use Excel template, continuous improvement tool, and the supplementary resources. And how would you describe the impact of the training on your current knowledge and skill level? And what specific improvements or modifications would you suggest for the WESO Toolkit training to make it more effective for settlement organizations? Would you like to be contacted to discuss WESO Toolkit implementation? Now we understand implementation is a big step. So even if you would like to be contacted, if you want to see our tools and want to know more about these tools and how you can implement and what are the steps, then also you can say yes, and that way we can send you an email and we can start the communication from there. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We're here to answer all your questions. It's a lot of new information in a very short amount of time, so we understand you need some time to process this. But please feel free to email us any of your questions. I will put in chat our emails.
Keeping in mind we're a little bit over time now, so even if you don't have any questions now, please follow up with the team either directly through email or checking their page in settlenet.org. Not seeing any questions pop up yet, so keeping the time in mind, I'll take this opportunity to thank our presenters very much for sharing these tools with us today. It's really interesting, and I think it'll make a big difference for service providers in all parts of the country. Thank you as well to Adam and Melanie at WESO, who supported the organization and broadcast of this webinar. And to our interpreters, Jay and Jeannie, thank you very much. And thank you to all the participants for coming out this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
everyone.
Thank you all
Bye-bye.
for attending. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
And have a great day. Take care.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.